You're probably hearing the term DAO more and more frequently these days, and for very good reason. In this video, I'm going to explain exactly what a DAO is in very simple terms, because according to the experts, DAOs are likely to become one of the most important metaverse trends of 2022. And some analysts even believe that DAOs might be the next step in the evolution of crypto, blockchain, and the metaverse. So what is a DAO? The term DAO is an abbreviation of Decentralized Autonomous Organization. In simple words, a DAO is a blockchain-based organization governed by smart contracts instead of people. And DAOs are an alternative to traditional organizations like corporations and foundations. Traditional companies are organized around very strict formal structures, which include CEOs, CTOs, board of directors, and so on. And in the case of DAOs, all of these things get replaced with decentralized technologies such as blockchain and smart contracts. So what are the main differences between a DAO and a traditional company? So traditional companies are very hierarchical. At the top, there's a CEO who is the leader and has the final say in making decisions, and is responsible for the direction in which the company is going. The CEO is accompanied by the board of directors. Together, they can be compared to a medieval king with a group of close advisors that help him rule. This mode of governance looks like something straight out of Game of Thrones, right? And it's simply not always very effective when it comes to organizations focusing on innovative solutions like blockchain, crypto, or metaverse. Unlike traditional organizations, DAOs are decentralized. There is no central authority like the CEO, which means that DAOs are much more democratic. All participants in the DAO have equal rights proportional to their share in the DAO, and together they all decide on the direction in which the organization is going. In other words, the entire DAO is like one big board of directors. In traditional companies, shareholders are eligible to earn a portion of the company's revenue in the form of dividends, but most of the shareholders can't have any say in how the company is governed. In the case of DAOs, But how does that really work in practice? How do DAOs work exactly? DAOs work by employing decentralized technologies such as blockchain, smart contracts, and cryptocurrency tokens. So, in simple words, a DAO is a structure that is built on the blockchain and operates by using smart contracts. You can think of smart contracts as real-world paper contracts, but without the need of a third party to enforce the contract. So, for example, if you wanted to fund a project on Kickstarter, and your goal was to raise $10,000, then one of two things can happen. You either raise $10,000 and the Kickstarter will release the funds, or you raise less than $10,000 and then the Kickstarter should give back the funds to the original donators and you get nothing. But in both scenarios, it's the responsibility of Kickstarter to manage the funds fairly. A smart contract would automate this entire process so that all that money isn't completely in the hands of Kickstarter. Once your goal of $10,000 is raised, the smart contract will automatically transfer the funds to you, and if less than $10,000 was raised, the smart contract will automatically give the funds back to the original donators. It's these smart contracts that are the backbone of any DAO, and they are created by the organization's founders, and they define how a DAO works. Most importantly, they are used for governing the organization. In other words, they allow making decisions in a decentralized manner through a process called decentralized governance. Decentralized governance is made possible by a special type of cryptocurrency token called governance tokens. Just like any other crypto coin or token, governance tokens can be bought, sold, transferred, or stored in your crypto wallet. But the main use case of governance tokens is not paying for goods or services, it's voting on proposals related to the governance of a DAO. And governance tokens can be compared to shares of traditional companies. Simply put, the more governance tokens you have, the more important you are in a DAO. Technically, all holders of governance tokens are able to participate in a DAO. The second you acquire some tokens, you can become a participant. In practice, your role in the DAO is determined by how many governance tokens you own. So for example, if you own 100,000 governance tokens, your vote will be 100 times more important than the vote of someone who owns 1,000 governance tokens. Usually the DAO smart contract determines how many governance tokens are needed to perform certain actions, while voting on proposals is commonly available to every token holder. Creating new proposals requires a significant number of tokens. Sometimes DAOs are combined with more traditional modes of governances. So for example, an organization might still have a typical board of directors, but its members can be elected every few years by participants in the DAO according to the rules of the decentralized governance determined in the smart contract. So why are DAOs getting so popular? DAOs are much more open, inclusive, democratic and transparent than traditional organizations, but that's not their only benefit. DAOs can also be very profitable due to how efficient they are. In traditional organizations, the CEO and the board of directors are at the top of the food chain. The decisions they make should, in theory, benefit all the shareholders, but in practice, it doesn't always work like that. In the worst case scenario, centralized governance can even hinder the development of a product or service, especially in the case of innovative technologies like blockchain or metaverse. DAOs guarantee that all participants in the organization will be rewarded proportionally to the amount of governance tokens they hold and their contribution to the project. Since every aspect of a DAO is fully transparent, everyone can verify where the funds go, and the project can be developed in a way that's mutually beneficial to its entire community. And because of all of these advantages, DAOs are becoming an increasingly popular way to govern blockchain, metaverse, and crypto projects. So will DAOs replace traditional organizations? Well, recently Elon Musk's brother Kimball Musk announced the creation of Big Green DAO, a Web 3.0 non-profit organization using decentralized technologies like blockchain and smart contracts for charity. It's a very important step in the development of DAOs as it proves they can successfully replace not only traditional companies but also NGOs. Now, DAOs are more efficient, more transparent, more democratic and more inclusive than centralized organizations. So will the metaverse be dominated by DAOs instead of corporations? It's still too soon to tell, but it is a very likely possibility.